Lucas was the kind of person who grew up believing that financial life was like climbing a mountain, something everyone was supposed to face and conquer eventually. But after years of trying, he felt more like someone stuck on a treadmill putting in maximum effort, but never actually moving forward. His days began to blur, filled with repetitive work, worries about his finances, and a constant feeling of frustration. He had a stable job at a mid-sized company, a good thing in theory, but with the high cost of living, saving even a small amount. Each month seemed nearly impossible. His daily life was filled with bills, credit card charges, and expenses that seemed to pile up endlessly, giving him no clear way out. Each month, he tried cutting back on little things, sacrificing hobbies and social outings, but it seemed that no matter what he did, there was no way to make meaningful progress. He was stuck, and the more he thought about it, the more it felt hopeless. One late night, after a particularly frustrating day at work, Lucas found himself unable to sleep. He lay in bed, watching videos on his phone, scrolling through channels on finances, personal growth, anything that might give him some answers. He'd heard about traditional investments like the stock market and real estate funds, but these options felt distant, too risky for someone with so little saved up. He wondered if there was any financial strategy that could realistically work for someone like him, someone without huge amounts to invest. He sighed and was about to give up his search when a video title caught his attention. It introduced a new, little-known strategy that was starting to gain interest: cryptocurrencies staking. This was something entirely new to him. If you've ever been curious about cryptocurrency or want to know how to make your money work for you, keep watching. Lucas was about to find out how a single financial strategy could transform his life. Until that night, Lucas had never given much thought to the crypto world. He thought it was something reserved for tech specialists, finance geeks, or people willing to bet on highly volatile assets. But staking seemed different. In the video, they described it as a low-risk way to earn passive income, with a potential return that went beyond traditional savings accounts. And for someone like Lucas, who felt like he was suffocating under financial pressure, the possibility of earning passive income was simply too tempting to ignore. As he watched, the concept became clearer. Staking was, in essence, a savings account in the digital world of cryptocurrencies. Instead of simply buying and selling cryptos, which he always saw as high-risk moves, staking allowed him to invest and, in return, receive a sort of passive income. Intrigued and suddenly hopeful, he spent the next several nights diving deep into tutorials, forums, and articles to understand every detail. He knew he had to proceed with caution, and a loss would be a big hit to his already stretched finances. But he also felt he was on the edge of something important. So, after careful thought, he decided to invest a small amount, something he could afford to lose if things didn't go as planned. And with that, he took his first real step toward financial independence. Surprisingly, staking started generating small returns almost immediately. In the first month, the earnings were modest, but just seeing that money, working without him, needing to lift a finger, was a huge boost. It was a feeling he hadn't experienced before: money that seemed to earn itself. He began to wonder about the possibilities. If he could see some return with a small investment, what would happen if he invested a little more? Curious to know what Lucas did next? Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single detail of this inspiring journey to financial freedom. But Lucas knew that he couldn't go about this without a solid plan. Rather than reinvesting all his earnings, he decided to take a more strategic approach. He divided his monthly returns into two parts: a small percentage to boost his staking investment, and the rest to start building an emergency fund, a crucial step for anyone trying to get out of debt. He realized that this fund could be his cushion, his safety net for the unexpected. It was a bold plan, but he felt confident and, above all, excited. If you've ever wanted to start an emergency fund and didn't know where to begin, let us know in the comments. This insight might just be the inspiration you need to take that first step. Over the next few months, Lucas saw his daily routine begin to shift. He still worked hard at his day job, but now every coffee break became an opportunity to check his staking balance and calculate his new returns. This habit became his secret motivation, something that kept him going even when work felt draining. Over time, he began exploring other cryptocurrencies that offered staking, always proceeding carefully and doing his research before committing more money. The crypto world was volatile, and he had to learn how to manage the highs and lows. But the feeling of control he got from watching his small gains accumulate gave him a newfound motivation and a new sense of self-confidence. Before long, Lucas started noticing real changes in his financial life. The extra money that once seemed impossible to save was finally becoming a reality. And even better, Lucas was developing a new mindset. He no longer saw money as something he desperately needed, but as a tool he could use strategically to build his future. He stopped making impulsive purchases, started getting into financial education books and videos, and each month, he worked to further optimize his strategy. Finding this transformation inspiring? Give this video a thumbs up so more people can discover this content and learn from Lucas's journey to financial freedom. One day, while reviewing his numbers, Lucas realized he was managing to save enough to pay off some of his smaller, nagging debts. It was an unbelievable moment. He no longer needed credit cards to get through the month, and little by little, he began envisioning a future where he'd be debt-free. At that moment, he truly felt the impact of his financial transformation. It wasn't just about the extra money. It was something deeper. For the first time, he felt he had control over his financial future. This realization made him reflect on everything he had been through. In the beginning, everything had seemed so distant and confusing, but with persistence and curiosity, he'd managed to take real, concrete steps toward what once seemed impossible. He wasn't at the top yet, but he could now see that the mountain was indeed climbable. More importantly, he was determined to keep going and see his financial growth journey through to the end. As the months went by, Lucas realized that his extra income from staking was opening doors he hadn't even imagined before. But he also knew it took more than luck to consolidate the change he wanted so much. To secure a stable financial future, Lucas decided to take an even bolder step. He'd use the gains he accumulated from staking to diversify his portfolio. If you believe in the importance of diversification, leave a comment. We'd love to hear how you handle the ups and downs of investing. He'd read a lot about the importance of not putting all your eggs in one basket, especially in a volatile market like cryptocurrencies. Keeping that in mind, he began studying traditional investments, and over time, he developed a growing interest in the stock market and investment funds. For him, staking alone wasn't enough. If he wanted to achieve true financial freedom, he needed a diversified, stable foundation for times of instability. He now saw these small but steady investments as his way out, his plan for long-term stability. With discipline, Lucas divided his income into several parts, one for staking, another for growth investments in companies he believed had potential, and a third to build a more robust emergency fund. Every dollar was assigned a specific purpose, and this not only increased his wealth, but also his confidence. He was finally building the foundation for the life he had always wanted. Challenges continued to arise, such as unexpected devaluations in some cryptocurrencies and sudden drops in the stock market, but Lucas no longer felt intimidated. He had developed a resilience that allowed him to look beyond the problems. Instead of giving up, he used those moments as opportunities to buy more stocks or increase his staking, applying a concept he now understood well: buy low to reap higher rewards. Lucas knew that wealth building was a marathon, not a sprint. His life began to reflect this newfound stability. The constant stress he'd felt from bills and debt was replaced with a sense of calm he'd never experienced before. And, little by little, he began sharing his story. Initially, he shared his experiences with close friends, who, curious, would ask how he'd gone from financial struggle to a position of independence in such a short time. To him, it was almost surreal. The same person who was once drowning in debt now had people seeking financial advice from him. With a desire to help others, just as he had done, Lucas decided to start a small blog where he wrote about personal finance and beginner strategies. His goal wasn't just to teach about staking or investments, but to show the power of a healthy financial mindset, something he realized was the key to any transformation. He wanted people to see that even starting small could lead to something big. Within months, Lucas's blog began attracting readers, and he quickly realized there was an audience for his content. He decided to take it a step further and launched a YouTube channel, producing weekly videos sharing investment tips, staking explanations, and even some of the mistakes he'd made along the way. Lucas's authenticity captivated the audience. People connected with his story and felt he truly understood the struggles they were going through. If this story resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it so others can benefit from this transformation. The impact was so positive that, in no time, Lucas began to monetize the channel. The ads on his videos and partnerships with financial companies became a new income stream. He, who once struggled to make ends meet, now saw the content he created about finances generating passive income to complement his investments. His online presence became more than just a side project. It was a testament to his growth and resilience. With the channel's success, Lucas also began receiving invitations to speak at seminars and workshops. Once afraid of public speaking, he found a new motivation in sharing his story and inspiring others to change their lives. Each presentation was an opportunity to impact more people, while also reinforcing his own journey of transformation. The young man who had started with nothing was now guiding others on the path to financial stability and prosperity. Lucas now had more than just good financial returns. He had achieved a freedom that few people experience. He could choose his next steps based on his dreams, not just his immediate needs. His journey was no longer about making money, but about living a life aligned with his values and teaching as many people as possible to do the same. With every new video and each grateful comment from viewers, Lucas felt even more motivated to keep going. He realized that his transformation was proof that anyone can change their life, as long as they're willing to learn, persist, and adapt. And so, Lucas ended each video with a phrase that, for him, symbolized everything he had learned. The key to financial freedom isn't about how much you make. It's about how well you understand the value of what you have.